Welcome to One Pace. That's
Mm,
right. You heard me correctly. It's not it's not the Hoop Chat, it's not podcast Suicida, two podcasts you're used to hearing over the past few months. I'm here with Tyler on demand.
that's right.
It's been way too
Happy to be
long.
here.
He just
Brother
he just
Gabe.
put his arms out in embrace and he looks jacked.
Oh, well,
I can
thank
see the
you. Thank you.
biceps. I can see the
I've been doing hot
biceps.
yoga recently, so it's good for the
Nice.
body.
Nice. I
Nice
should try
tonage.
that. Yeah.
It's actually not bad. The first couple times I almost passed out. Like it was pretty bad, but
Yeah.
the last two, quite good. Very nice.
Yeah. You're looking like gear two.
Gear two.
You're looking like
Oh,
gear
well,
two over here.
careful before I get you with that snake, man, bro. Reach through the screen. Ping pong boom. You're also looking beefy, almost like you ate the strength fruit, perhaps, or the
Looking like
giant fruit.
Jesus Burgess.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh my god, I don't even know where to start with all that. Well, we can start right there. How do you think about the newest devil fruits and shit?
Okay, so
We've gotten a lot in the past couple chapters.
yeah, last chapter they threw like five at us and a few
A
panels
milli.
with
Yeah.
Blackbeard's crew, right?
It was almost annoying, but I was more intrigued than annoyed.
So I'll start off with this question to you. It's not new because we knew this, but
Mm.
they kind of I don't know, they reinforced the past chapter. San Juan Wolf, the colossal battleship, San
Yeah.
Juan Wolf.
Mhm.
He's a giant who ate the giant fruit. And this
Right.
dude really like some One Piece characters. I just think about how would it be if you actually saw this person in real
Right.
life? This guy's terrifying because I saw a scale, and I'm gonna try to find on my phone real quickly here. But I saw a scale of San Juan wolves next to like
Mm.
other dudes in One Piece and other in like next to Colossal Titan
Right.
from Attack on
Oh
Titan.
shit.
He's 3 times the height of the Colossal Titan. He's 180 meters high. He's like twice the size of Oars Jr. Not Oars Jr., Oars from Thriller
Mhm.
Bark.
The original one.
He's massive. How are they even gonna fight that thing? And who, if it comes down to it, who from the Straw Hats do you think will end up fighting San Juan Wolf?
Mm.
Because he's kind of interesting, in my opinion.
I heard something recently that I forgot where, and I won't claim it as my theory, but it was something where like they suggested Frankie might be able to replicate Pluton and be able to take down him
Yeah.
like that way, like the colossal battleship versus the Pluton battleship type shit. Or I feel like maybe Jinbei, like maybe they get him in the water somehow and he's a giant, so maybe the ocean just goes to his ankle, but maybe Jinbei can do some shit like from within the water and like fuck him up.
He's the
I'm
only
not sure.
Yeah, he's the only character you mentioned that. He's the only character we've met so far who like he can't fit on a ship.
Yeah, like he just literally is a ship. I think there were some times where he just carried it away, like early Blackbeard pirates.
Yeah, he just like walks next to the ship or like lays there in the
Right.
water. Even though he's a devil fruit user, he can't drown because he's so big.
Right.
Um, yeah, it's interesting. I've heard Frankie in the past. Definitely, I like that theory because he is the colossal but battleship. So
Mhm.
Frankie with Pluton would make sense. I also wonder. I want to know if you recall back to Impel Down, all of these
Mm.
new people who aren't like the original dudes in Blackbeard's crew that he got from Impel Down, they're all level 6. They all did things that were so terrible that it was
Right.
wiped out from the history. So this dude seems fairly innocent just the way he looks.
Right. He looks like an imbecile.
Like when he tried to hide behind Marineford,
Mhm.
uh that just adds just knowing that he's done something so terrible, it just adds to how
Mm.
scary it is because he
And
comes off as innocent.
I wonder if it's something where it's just like you're saying, he's just so large that he just destroyed towns because he was just huge and like maybe just snapped at one point and then just started just like Big Mom, how Big Mom snapped on Elbaf and just started wrecking shit.
Right.
Maybe it was something like that, but I guess he's just easier to capture.
Right. Oh, all right.
I want to
Oh,
see
I
what
found
Garp
it.
does to him. I want to see Garp fuck him up. Spoilers if you haven't read 1080, but why are you listening if you haven't? But I want to see if Garp can do something to him because it's
I
just a
think
giant
so.
target.
I think so. I think when it comes down to it, like if you're island level, you can take this guy out. Like let's say he's the size of an
Yeah.
island. If you could take out an island, you can take out this dude. He's just
Right.
scary looking, man. I'm just looking
He
at
looks
pictures.
gross.
He's got this
Oh,
like
it's a little.
5 o'clock
Oh, there
shadow.
it is. Oh, there it is.
Can you see? Let me zoom out a little.
Yeah.
Look at Oars. If you guys are listening and you recall
Jesus.
Oars from Thriller Bark, this is Oars is at his waist, basically.
That's
He's at this
insane.
guy's waist.
And his waist is only a third of his body.
I was just
Like
gonna say, and this
2/3
guy's
his
top
torso.
heavy, like
So
Kaido.
wait, is that the
Oh, by the
scale
way,
from
here's
when?
Kaido down here.
Oh
He's
yeah,
like
that's disgusting. That
down
little
here.
blob down
Yeah.
there. So does that mean that's the scale from when he was at Marineford or now?
Oh, you think he's still growing?
I don't know. Like, is he bigger in the last chapter? I wasn't able to tell.
Another fucking theory I heard, not a theory, but just like a what if is
Mm.
this isn't even him using his devil fruit. He can get even bigger.
What the fuck? And then so it's like what, like bigger than Zunisha? Like, what are we talking here?
Oh my gosh.
That's insane. What if Final War came to that? Like he gets that big and they bring Zunisha in. Like Wano fucking Momo comes with all the backup. And
That'd be
it's just
pretty
Zunisha.
badass.
That would be nuts.
Like when he slapped Jack. That's one of
Yeah.
the best moments in One Piece, honestly. I mean, one of I could probably
Many.
name 500 great moments in One Piece. 'Cause it's so vast, but yeah, the
That was one I
Zunisha
had to watch the
slapping
anime.
Jack. That was
You
sick.
had to see that. Bang, bah.
Yeah. But yeah, that dude interests me. What other new devil fruits are we talking here?
So Vasco Shot got the liquor fruit. We
So what
don't
is
really know
that?
what that means, dude.
Yeah,
I
I
have
was
no idea.
confused.
Like, is he just dripping alcohol? Like he can manipulate alcohol? I'm not sure.
Maybe
And
he's
one of the
Logia.
translations was liquor, and then one was just like glug glug, as in insinuating just drinking.
That's the whatever I read was that
The
translation.
glug glug
The
one.
glug glug, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, maybe that still means alcohol, but maybe it's all drinks, but I still don't know what that means. I think it means Sanji might fight him though. I think there's more credence to that now. Kind of like the food and liquor category.
Right. And then one that confused me was they were like, is that, and it could have been the translations or something, but I feel like the people were getting yelled at by like whatever fortress they were in that had the shape of a face. And it was, did that have something to do with what's his name?
Pizarro, the cat guy.
Pizarro's devil fruit.
Yeah, so I guess that's what it is. He becomes the island. So he can like be any extension of the island. So he was the big rockhead. And when I first read that, I was like, what the fuck's going on, dude?
Yeah.
Like, what's happening? But then he was also the floor of the castle, though, or like wherever their fortress is. So I guess he can just be anything that touches the island, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
that's kind of
creepy
crazy
too.
It's really, yeah, very creepy. I mean, they're all like weird. Like that entire
Right.
crew is just kind of nasty looking.
Exactly.
And then there was one more. Well, no, they just listed Invisible Man for Shiryu, obviously.
Mhm.
And then I don't think there was a new one on their side beyond that.
No, I mean, what's her name? Katavina Devon.
Yeah.
Katrina Devon, something like that.
Katrina,
yeah, Katrina. She has like the face changing fruit, right?
Oh, whole thing, like essence, body, everything changing.
Oh, right.
That nine-tail fox shit. So I think we know all of them except Lafitte. We don't know the name of his fruit. But I think they all have one now.
He might be important because he's the first, like, he's one of the first big surprises in One Piece. I don't know if people remember, but there's that episode where you first meet a lot of the warlords. I remember it's the same episode we meet Whitebeard for the first time in the Jaya arc. And Lafitte just pulls up on the warlord meeting.
Just in the window.
Land. Yes.
Saying Goku's there, yep. Suru's there, like just there. He's like, hey guys, want to chat?
Right.
What the fuck?
So that'll be interesting. I'm glad you bring him up.
But I think we know everyone else.
Yeah. What's the deal? What do you think went down? It's been a while since we talked. What do you think went down with Law and Blackbeard?
How
do you think that played out?
Fuck. I think it's either Law lost, Law escaped injured, or Blackbeard like not retreated, but just called it a match for now. Like I've seen theories where it's like, oh, he hears what's going on at Hachinosu, and maybe Augur can use the teleport fruit to get him back or something like that. I think it's one of those. I don't think he beat him. I don't think he like won, quote unquote. So I'm kind of nervous, to be honest.
Yeah, Black.
Oda might just be.
They don't take prisoners.
You don't except for pudding.
Right.
Well, I think because you saw the stuff with Kid, obviously, just evisceration, obliteration. What did I forgot what the narrator said. I think like eradicated. Like,
yes, their entire crew. Yeah, a crew that's worth with a captain of 3 billion just eradicated
Insane.
in one blow.
Insane. So this might be some shit where Oda's like, okay, now we're showing what the Yonko are actually about. We're getting rid of
Mhm.
that 3 billion guy. We're getting rid of that 3 billion guy. And now there's only one reason that Luffy's still around is because he's actually special, or like because he's actually that guy. It might be
Right.
something like that.
If he's Yonko, I mean, Buggy is the exception, obviously.
Lol.
Which at first I was like, come on, the Yonkos are sacred. And now I'm kind of in. I'm in again
I
with
love it.
Buggy. Yeah.
I love it.
And I love that he's kind of the opposite of Shanks, where we see Shanks is so OP that his
Mm.
fleet, it's a bunch of weaklings that they
Mm.
use his name in protection, and Buggy is the weakling who has Crocodile and
That's
Mihawk
interesting.
as his two right hand men, technically,
Yeah,
or
that's
in the
right.
eyes of the world government. And then all these impelled
That's so
down
funny.
OP dudes.
They say Ben Beckman is the moon to Shanks' son. Maybe it's actually Buggy. Maybe he's his opposite.
Buggy D Clown.
Yo, I fucking pray to God that Buggy is a D, family a D member. That would be great.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But yeah, Shanks completely. So as crazy as all the devil fruit abilities we just mentioned from Blackbeard and his crew, and Blackbeard himself obviously is two very powerful devil fruits.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen anything as impressive in this entire series as Shanks. What Shanks
Shit,
just did.
shit. Not even Blackbeard crew, but what about what Garp did? You think Shanks is above?
Do I think Shanks is more powerful than Garp right now?
Or I guess what's the better showing?
Oh, Shanks.
You think so?
We'll see though. That was incredible by Garp. So if you guys just like to listen to our voices and don't follow along with One Piece and don't care about spoilers, Garp
Right.
basically just pulled up to save Kobe. I saw a meme. It's Ace watching Garp pull up to save Kobe from heaven.
Hilarious. Fucking hilarious. It's just like, come on, Grandpa.
It's that
What
meme of
about
the
me?
guy with his hands on his hips at the soccer
Yeah,
game. Yeah. Yeah,
just
Garp
wishing.
just fucking decimates.
Just obliterated a town, like the whole
Yeah.
town
With one
square.
fist, with one
An
punch.
enormous shockwave of just conquerors hockey, just destroyed.
Hmm.
So, I mean, that's a pretty big showing, but you're right, because Shanks's was no effort. Like, Garp was way up on the ship. He was coming down like a meteor, kind of. Shanks jumps from presumably like the shoreline, essentially, over to right in front of Kid's face before Kid could even like look up. And then once he looks up, sliced, you're dead. And Killer taken
And
out
Killer. Yeah,
in
King of Lightning
one
was
fell
like
swoop.
throw in another billion, whatever Killer's bounty is. He just took out 4
Right.
billion in one swoop. And
Right.
then Dorian Broggy with the capitalization of just like that was pretty brutal. Just wiping everybody else out along with it.
Yo, kind of disgusting. And that made me like, oh, okay, Shanks, like, we like him, but he's not like he's a good guy, but you're fucked if he's mad. Like
Well,
you're
what did
just done for.
he saw something scary in the future. This is another reason why it's so impressive. He basically has what Katakuri has, or even can see even further into the future.
It looked like further.
And he did not like what he saw, which is why he got so serious, which is something we haven't really seen much of in this entire
Right.
series, is Shanks getting actually serious. I guess. All right, in the whole series, do you think that is the most impressive thing? If we're gonna talk about this whole thing in the entire series, back to episode one,
Mhm.
is that the most impressive thing? I'd
Yep.
argue
Whoa. Yeah, keep going.
Shanks. We already saw Shanks do something more impressive, which is bring an admiral to his knees with Conqueror's hockey from miles away.
Shit.
That's pretty crazy too.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. I'm trying. What's the better hockey showing? Is it Shanks there or was it Garp's attack? Like that's what I'm trying. It might be Shanks.
Well, so maybe for Garp's attack, I might need to see it get animated. I might need to see the scale more. How big is the town really?
Right, the
Um,
aftershock. Yeah,
Definitely
yeah, yeah.
impressive. Definitely, you needed something like that to follow the Shanks chapter. We couldn't just go back to Egghead and be blah 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 blah. We were still on a high.
Right.
Man, it's been good, and we could talk about Egghead either if we get to it today. Or if not, we'll talk about it next week or something, because I
Mm.
think it's been a pretty good arc.
I do too. We can go into it right now. I
Mhm.
also like it. How have you been feeling about the whodunit mystery? Kind of by now, York's been revealed. How'd you feel about the whole kind of thing?
I I loved York. I think actually used the words, "This is going to create a classic whodunit scenario." Like I think she said
Mm,
that when she was going over the plan
I
with the
think so too.
seraphim. I like it. Um, it's confusing at times, like just knowing what the relationship between Vegapunk and these paths are. Like for
Yeah.
when you first meet them, I'm like, okay, so they all share the same brain. He'll know exactly what's going on with everybody. They're all just him.
Mm.
But now it looks like no, they're parts of him, but it's sort of like the homunculi from FMA where
Oh, nice.
father lets go of these. He brings to life these homunculus, but they have their own will where
Right.
like greed goes against, which is what York is, right? She's greed. Greed goes against father,
Oh.
York goes against Vegapunk, except in this case,
Mm.
Vegapunk's not the bad guy, at least to our knowledge.
Right.
Um fucking do you think what's his name is gonna pull up? Well, he is,
Who?
right? But what is gonna happen when he pulls up? One of the five elders. Saint,
Oh shit. Yeah, that's right.
what are your
At this
thoughts?
point, at this point, I don't know because it's like, are the Strides gonna escape before that, or are they just gonna pull up? Because if they pull up, they're gonna need some help. I think they might need some help because I think the Saturn isn't weak. I don't know
Mm,
if he's like, Kaido and shit. Probably not Kizaru level, because then why would he need Kizaru
right.
there to defend him? But I think he could do something. I feel like it's gonna be something not strictly power related. It's gonna be like a certain ability.
Yeah, if I had to guess, because that's been a question when he showed up, and even before that, can the five elders go? Like, can they bang
Right.
out? If I had to guess on a scale from Yonko level to they can't fight at all, I definitely lean towards Yonko level. Do I think they
Yeah.
are? No.
Right.
Um, but I mean, we see Homeboy with I think he has one of the four great blades. The
Oh,
bald,
that's
the
true.
one
Yeah,
that
that's
looks like
true.
Gandhi.
That's
Uh,
true.
so I'd assume if he can go, they can all go.
I assume they could fight somewhat. Like I assume they're above, vice admiral level. I assume they
Right.
can bang like that at least, but I don't know what that means. Like it's kind of a vague scale. But I don't like why would I'm so confused why they would send one of them at all. Like why would they send one of them to go see Vegapunk, period?
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't send one of them when they found out that O'Hara was searching for
Mm-hmm.
poneglyph stuff. So what's different about Vega? Is it because he's literally like the smartest man ever that they're gonna send one guy to be like, hey, you have one chance to back down, I guess, and turn all your shit over?
Maybe, yeah, maybe because he was in the world government, he has world government secrets, opposed
Mm,
to O'Hara, you had the secrets of the world. But this dude also not only has the secrets of the world, but also the world government organization.
yeah, that's true. He
Um,
met with them. Yeah, he was in their chambers. Do you think
with
he knows who Eam is?
I was just gonna ask you, with
Oh
all this
shit.
going on in all these five elders and admirals and
Mhm.
Garp showing his stuff and Shanks showing his stuff, over under 30 the next 30 chapters, do we see emo? Do we see Umu in the next 30 chapters?
I think it's high, dude. We might even see it in the next 10. Oda's been going crazy. Oda's been going insane. We might because we still have to figure out what happened with Sabo, all the revolutionary stuff, what's going on with Kuma, and that might all because Kuma's on his way to what's it called? Mirijois.
Yes.
Who's there? Emu.
Mm,
So I feel like it's within 10, 15 that it's possible. I think it's pretty high. We
nice.
got to know all that shit. We might even see the big battleship thing again. Maybe they
Oh my
erase another
gosh,
island. That would be nuts
bro.
because it's endgame shit, and
It
endgame's been
is.
crazy so far.
We've been, yeah, I say that after every chapter when some crazy shit happens. We're in the end game now.
But it's true. Like
I just say
Egghead, I
that after
think
every
marks
chapter.
endgame. I think the fact that we know Vegapunk means endgame is here
Hmm.
because we're finding out key devil fruit lore. Like, what did he say? Something about they're the manifestation of desires or something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a little
what the?
vague. It wasn't
It
like
was kind of weird.
direct, but
It
yeah,
was kind of weird.
it came from what people want to do basically.
I think
Uh
we'll find out more not next time we see Eam, but I feel like the key of the devil fruit lore and history might come from Eam, or maybe Vegapunk escapes with the Straw Hats.
yeah.
But I think that's the first key. But I didn't know how to feel about it. I think I just kind of felt it was vague and maybe okay, we just have to wait a little longer. The secret to devil fruit's been since episode 1, chapter
Right.
1. This is a big culmination to even get a little bit of it.
And
It's
I
kind of
love,
huge.
yeah, they drop those little questions at you, and they drop these titles at you, episode 1, and you're like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, Gold
Right.
Roger. And then the more you see the world, you're like, wait a minute, this guy was stronger than this guy.
Yes.
This person lived then. Like Nolan, we see Nolan's backstory in Sky Island 400 years ago or whatever. And I'm like, oh, it's in the past. I don't think we've actually seen any other backstory go that far into the past so far.
400? Is that what you said? It was 400 years?
It was like 400, 500. I can't quite remember, but I know it was way back.
Right. I think the only person we know from earlier than that is Toki, but we don't know where she came from. Because didn't she jump from like Void Century time?
Rumored,
Right.
which probably means yes, which probably means
Right.
you're correct, which probably means she could even be from the Void Century.
Dude, that'd be nuts. Because then that's going to tie back in, probably indirectly. Like it'd probably go to the flashback, then you'd see Toki rather than Toki actually talking about it. Oh, wait, she's dead, so she can't talk about it. Never mind. Right, I forgot about that. Yeah. But what do you think about Vegapunk, the character, whether that's just the solitary one or the conglomerate of satellites?
So the satellites are a little, they're cool. I like that one of them were the traitor, and it wasn't like fucking some random like Scratchman Apu was the dude.
Hilarious, or a caribou
here or something. Yeah, like I'm happy it was one of the Vegapunks that turned on him. It made it more entertaining, in my opinion. The one who just got shot is cool. Do you think he's dead?
Yeah, Shaka.
Do you think Shaka's dead?
There was blood, man.
There was.
The only thing I could see was like it was a clone, or like a clone of Shaka, some bullshit like that. But I'm leaning towards dead, which is kind of like shit. It's getting real.
It's kind of like we're in the end game now.
We've never seen a kill like that before. No, so that's also what makes me think maybe he's alive. Like whenever anyone gets shot, it's silhouette.
Right.
We saw the brain, like we saw it spurt open in the head. So that's the only thing that's making me feel like, okay, maybe he's not dead, but it's also making me feel like, oh no, the story actually just took a shift, and maybe a lot of people are gonna die soon.
Yeah.
Cut to Kid, maybe Garb, possibly Law.
Oh, well, I mean, that's the question we have to ask. And to finish your question, so I don't want to be rude and not answer your question. Vegapunk himself, we talked a little about him, a little bit about him last time we spoke. Actually, that was the chapter where he basically shows up for the first time.
Oh yeah, we made fun of his head.
Yeah,
that's right.
He's interesting, where he's definitely not perfect. He's not all noble. He's not a badass.
Right.
But he wants what he wants, and he used the world government basically for his own advances. He's definitely not a bad guy either.
Right. And it seems to be net positive, the things he's done so far, except for like obviously the machines and war shit.
Definitely. And I think he probably has an ace up his sleeve when it comes to taking out the world government, which is why they're there to take him out.
Interesting. Okay, he's got a kill switch for him. Interesting. Right.
Do we think Kid is dead?
I don't think he's dead. I think he's done, though.
That's what I said too.
Yeah.
He's
think
retired.
It's over for him. Maybe he makes like one final showing in like the final war and does something small to help Luffy out, but I think for the most part he's done.
He's just gonna be a fucking nub of like
be
his head bouncing around with a bunch of technology because his body's been destroyed.
Oh my god, yeah, he's just gonna be all metal except his head. That would be nuts. Yeah, I don't know about that. I think he's probably done for. Law, even if he lost, I don't think is done.
He's too important. There's too much going on with him. He's
looking for too much key stuff in the world.
We got a full backstory. Honestly, outside of I call the Wano. That's one backstory. Wano's backstory. It's one thing. Besides Wano, Law is my favorite backstory. It was very extensive. I don't think they would do all that just to kill somebody off screen.
That's a good point. They gave a lot of context and they made us like feel for him and like feel his life, and been around for what, 3-4 arcs now. So yeah, I don't think so either. I think he has a much more important role left still, especially because his shit is finding out about the D-Clan, not trying to be the Pirate King. So I think that's important.
And I
Mm.
doubt he would. I could see him dying before the end of the series, but it would be on camera.
Yeah, definitely. No, dude, if they kill him off screen, that's ridiculous. That would be crazy. I
Who'd
would
they
not
kill off
accept that.
screen? They've killed only a few characters off. Absalom. I mean, we were talking about the Black Bear
Lol.
Pirates earlier. The invisible tiger face guy from Thriller
Right.
Bark. He was killed off screen.
That's true. That's a good
Uh,
point.
it's
I
very
can't think
rare
who
though.
else.
It's
Yeah, I
very
don't
rare.
know
They
anybody
wouldn't
else.
do it. It's like fucking law,
I couldn't believe that. There's no way I could believe that.
and they wouldn't do it to Sabo either.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I don't think he's dead either. I think Sabo's alive. Somehow he got away. I don't know how. Maybe fucking Blue Nose showed up with the door fruit and saved him. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah.
He has no reason to, but who knows? Can we
Right.
pause one moment? I just have to pee. Thank you.
So I guess wrapping up here, my final question to you would be regarding the Seraphim. We briefly touched upon them. They're taking orders. How do we feel about them in general?
Yeah.
And do you think they're too powerful? Do you think Oda wrote them too powerful? Because Luffy was just Gear 5, right? He's a Yonko, and now I just feel like any foe that's not another Yonko or top dude in the military should be sort of light work for him at this point if he's going Gear 5. But how do you feel about it?
That. I would love to see Gear 5 against the Seraphim because I agree. I think that would be probably a wrap, and then we'd be able to see the extent. But they do seem pretty OP. I just think that's what he wants us to think, and there will be something that they find to overcome it that is kind of reasonable. But I mean, they're okay. I kind of like the idea of the human pirates being replaced because they're too rambunctious and out of control. So the government creates machine versions of them. I do think it's pretty nifty. I'm wondering if the grand irony is going to be they lose control of them again. And it's like, fuck, well, you could just never control them. It was that DNA, that pirate DNA, will never die type shit. But I don't think they're too powerful. I think we're going to find the Straw Hats can beat them. I think Sanji might wipe up Kid Jinbei. We forgot about that. Like, Sanji just took that punch and didn't even move. Like, nothing happened. So I think he might pack him up a bit. Zoro's chasing after S-Hawk. I don't know how that's going to go. That might be a wash. Maybe they take out S-Bear. I can see Luffy taking him out. But, I mean, Luffy seemed to be struggling against even the Kuma robots.
It's my thing. It's like, we're not.
So I don't know.
We're not in Sabity anymore, Like,
yeah, get us a new enemy.
Like I said, we're in the end game here. Like, you wouldn't see any other Yonko. I mean, obviously Buggy. You wouldn't see any other Yonko we've seen throughout the series like struggling against someone who isn't fucking 3 admirals at once. Shit like
That's
that.
a good point. That is a very good point. Even the type of shit where Bonnie was able to kick Luffy before he could punch the Kuma pacifista, like the police robot when they first got to Egghead. I was kind of like, aren't we past that? Like, he should have been able to blast that shit away, and then maybe she gets mad at him after, or like he dodges or something. But yeah, I do feel that. I don't think they're too powerful yet. I think we got to see what happens by the end of Egghead, and that'll really tell us.
Fair, definitely fair. And how do we feel about Rob Lucci and Rob Lucci's return?
I thought it was cool to see him, but pretty much from the moment I saw him, my instant thought was like, what is he really going to do?
Right.
The Awakened Zoan was cool. Like, it was pretty cool
looking. Yeah, it was cool.
It was definitely cool. And I liked that that's a thing. Kaku's was kind of funny too. So that's kind of cool. I liked the team up between the 4 of them. I thought that was all right. But otherwise, I think largely underwhelming. He just kind of got beaten.
Yeah,
very fan service. Like, when Doflamingo comes back, I don't want to see him get beaten that easily. I want to see him do something devious and diabolical, then get beaten later.
That's the thing, dude. A lot of these great characters that were great opponents for Luffy in the past. It's like narratively, if they come back into the story, yeah, they should mean something. But why would they automatically just get so much more powerful just because Luffy's more powerful? Like, Luffy is the sun god. This is obviously something special here. Why would Doflamingo all of a sudden be able to match Luffy again
when he's been in jail,
just chained down?
Yeah, I think bringing them back for combat reasons might be a bad idea. Or maybe that's just what this Rob Lucci one was. It's the first imprint of, all right, we got these old villains, but we can quickly see combat wise is not going to be where they're important. So maybe they'll
Yeah,
have some narrative importance, like
right.
Crocodile. That's narrative importance.
Crocodile who got a
Roskill.
fucking buff though. Like you see him in
That's true.
Alabasta,
That's
loses to
true.
Luffy,
Huge buff.
shows up in Marineford, going at Whitebeard, going at Akainu.
Yeah, that's a classic conundrum. A little bit of maybe retcon, or maybe somehow
Definitely.
you could talk it out in the world, but I think mostly retcon.
Yeah. Alabasta has a few issues when it comes to some stuff that went down at the end, but overall great
Yeah,
arc.
I agree.
Anything else before we go?
I think we did pretty good. I think if anything crazy happens in the next couple chapters, we can always come back sooner than the last one. But I think this was pretty
Definitely.
good.
Definitely. Yeah, past two chapters have been so the hype around them's been so crazy. I didn't want to get spoiled. I'm
Mhm.
literally reading these chapters while I'm at work.
Right.
So
Yeah. Just
yeah.
like kind of like cheering in the bathroom, like, Garb, yo, let's
Yeah.
go.
Yo. Everything okay in there?
Right. Yeah, great. I feel
All
that.
right. All right, Tyler. Thank you very much. This was a lot
Thank
of
you,
fun.
sir. It
It's
always
like we
is. I
never
appreciate
left.
it. That's right.
Uh Stay tuned for more one pod down the line. Stay tuned for everything else we have on Connection Media, and stay tuned for the Richie and Mecco Connection. Follow the Richie and Mecco Connection on IG
That's
and
right.
follow everybody on their respective social medias. Anything to plug before we go, Tyler?
Me and my group mate Alexander Henry, we just put out an EP, a joint EP. It's called All You See Is Past on all the streaming platforms. So it's Tyler on Demand and Alexander Henry. Just quick 5 tracks, some good shit. I think quite good shit. I think you might all
Awesome.
like it. So
I'll have
check
to
it
give it a
out.
listen myself.
Please do,
That
sir.
sounds great. All right. Thanks
Thank you,
everybody for
everybody.
listening, and take care.